Well, good afternoon. Happy Monday, everybody. Hopefully, everybody's having a happy Monday, at least a happier Monday than I've fucking had. I'm rocking and rolling on about 4 hours sleep, homie. How you doing?
Just about the same, honestly.
Yeah,
I
it's the American way these days to gotta get that grind in, man. So
well, you see, I took off from work yesterday, so
Oh,
I've
so
been kind of
see,
like
I'm gonna be off tomorrow, so we're kind of mirroring each other in that way, which is awesome. So, all right, folks, you know him, you love him. It's I think your third or fourth time on here. I'm losing fucking track, but it is Cesar from Cesar Arcade, one of my favorite people on the internet. So had him back on. Go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about yourself, man, and before we introduce the drinks and the beverages. Oh, what is
what's up,
that?
everybody? Scorpio Caesar here. That's just my little logo
I
that I
like
have
it.
a little frame of. You see it in the background of my videos, and I
Hmm.
also got that. I got that one. I got this one over here, flanked by Aries and Tifa. Hopefully, they don't fall down. Super retro force right there. Represent
SRF.
my homies. My homies. Okay. All right.
All righty.
Drinking a Red's hard apple peach.
Sounds good. I'm having I mixed up Long Island iced teas today, so I'm gonna be fucked up by the end of this.
Okay, so I'm gonna be the sober one in this one.
You're gonna be
You
the
see, I
sober
couldn't
one in
go
this
hard
one.
today because. All right, fair enough.
No, that's
Was I
okay.
supposed to introduce myself?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Uh,
Tell everybody about yourself.
uh, Scorpio Caesar here, everybody. If you don't know me by now, then you haven't been watching these Liquored Up in Lives. This is probably my fourth appearance, I think, at this point.
I think this is your
And
fourth, yeah. And at one point, you were the record holder before Emily and Nish decided to fucking gun for that shit.
yeah, I was riding high on that streak of undefeated time, and then Emily came and just fucking chokeslammed me to hell,
Yeah, then this showed up
which
and
is
like
perfectly okay.
fucking threw charcoal on that shit as well, man. So, all
God
righty, well,
damn. Well, I'm not here to break any records today.
no, yeah, I think we're both, I think we're both a little tapped already for that, but we're still gonna give a damn good show. So, I guess to start, boy, has there been a lot of news since we last talked. So, how about that fucking Nintendo Direct, huh?
Yeah, it was a good one. That was I was expecting, I go in these directs nowadays with like low expectations, and
Always best.
there's always like at least 3 games that I see that I want. This one had like fucking 6 or 7 of
Oh shit.
them, man.
Okay.
I was just like, shit, I
So
can't keep up with all this Switch shit,
so
man.
so not too shabby for it being an 8-year-old console. I got to tell you, one of the
Man, it just goes to show. Yeah.
well, it's one of the advantages of combining your home and portable market. I always remind people that Nintendo with their powers combined, like they've got a world beater. They've got an
That
absolute world beater on their hands.
and it ain't all about horsepower, like we always say
Nope.
with these systems. Nope.
Nope. They're again, don't fucking make me get out the Nintendo graph, guys. I'll
All
do
right.
it.
All right.
Yeah, I'll do it, guys. I'll
We you do it in every podcast. I
I know.
think everybody knows by now.
I was gonna say, yeah, the overshoot the market graph. That's what Sony and Microsoft are doing. That's what they won't fucking stop doing. Now, I will give it
Now,
up
listen,
for Xbox.
I was about to say, I give it up to Xbox. Their last showcase was
Impressive.
it made me kind of want a Series X, but then again, I was just like, no, I still don't need it right now.
Yeah, there's a little goblin whispering in the back of your head that it's like, all this is on PC, bruh. Like, just get a PC,
Oh
bruh.
well, I'm not a PC player,
I
so
know.
no, I'm not
It's
gonna get a PC. No, thank you. I'd rather buy a Series X than play anything on a damn
but
PC,
Caesar,
especially mine.
if you get a PC, you can play Star Control too. But you can
Oh,
just watch me. You can
listen,
just watch me play that. Fear and Hunger.
listen. If the PC can't play Roller Coaster Tycoon, the original Sims, Jumpstart Fifth Grade, or
Play all that.
Trail third or fourth edition, then I don't need it.
You can play all that stuff.
Yeah, but some of those games are hard to play on modern day PCs. There's
That
also
is
those
true.
old
You
ones.
need like a fucking DOS box and shit. Like DOS emulation. It's
Yeah,
crazy, man.
I
No,
looked
that's
up
for sure.
my original. I looked up my original PC, the one we originally started. It was a compact Presario
Oh
with
shit.
Windows like
Okay.
90. Yeah, Windows 98 or
Man,
something
that's
on
like, yeah,
it.
it's like
And
it's like the Pentium 4 processor was like the thing to have like back then.
yeah, and they're trying to charge people like $300 for that old ancient thing. I'm like, what?
Oh, that's crazy.
Why?
Fuck, you can spend an extra 300 and
I
get a I wouldn't say a future proof gaming rig, but for 600, $700 you can get a gaming rig that'll play anything out now. Like I don't think mine
right.
cost more than $700, and that was back in 2020 before PC parts skyrocketed because of Bitcoin mining and shit like that. But so you're gonna pay a little bit more these days, just because you're gonna pay a little bit more for everything fucking these days. Don't we know it? But in general, like yeah, that's kind of it's the one thing that's holding me back with Xbox. Like I want to give credit, but at the same time, like motherfuckers, I know every single one of those things is coming to PC too. And until you have some actual goddamn exclusives, like don't expect too much praise from me.
Well, I look at it this way. They showed Perfect Dark, which I'm happy they finally showed it off. Uh, that it actually exists. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the new Fable.
Yeah, Fable
What
looked
else did they
rad.
show?
Fable looked rad.
The, the Emergence Day for Gears of War. Yeah, hell yeah, bring back Gears of War. I
Dude,
don't give
I
a fuck.
like Gears of War is one 360 game I know, Cesar. I was going to talk to you about this since you're on a 360 kick. So I had a buddy, B. Rye Turner, and we used to go to his fucking place all the time, and we used to play the fucking shit out of Gears of War online. Oh my god. Yeah, the original Gears. That's the one I'm familiar with. And never really
Oh
played the
man,
single player, although I hear it's fun. We mainly just
really?
we played some co-op, but we would really just get online. You know what I used as the starter pistol was my weapon of choice. I would use
Oh
that
yeah, I mean,
starter pistol was a beast, man. Like you could pistol whip and then instantly pop their head, or you could shoot them a couple times and pistol whip and they're down. Like that thing was a beast in multiplayer.
most weapons in Gears of War were all pretty deadly if you know how to use them.
Yeah, very balanced. I would say it's a very balanced multiplayer game for sure. Like I remember having some really good times at old B Rise house on that. So yeah, I do have some actual memories of Gears. That's one 360 game I have some specific memories of for sure.
Gears was like Gears was that game. You know what I mean? That was the Xbox 360 exclusive. That I mean, it came out on PC
It was
at some
years
point,
later though.
and none of the other ones did. And
Right.
they only got better as the sequels
Okay.
came out. Like Gears of War 1, fantastic game. I loved it. It actually wiped out my entire hard drive though, which was wild. There was some type of save glitch that happened, and all of my progress up until that point with all of my games was deleted.
Oh
I was
shit.
pissed. Yeah, oh man, that drove me insane. But it was Gears of War, so I forgave it. And then
Right.
Gears of War 2, I wasn't into as much, both multiplayer and single player. There had to be something else that came out around that time that I was more into.
Call
But
of
when
Duty Modern
Gears
Warfare
3,
4.
probably yeah, I think it was around
That
that
took over.
time.
That fucking took over multiplayer. Yeah.
Gears 3, I was back into Gears, and that was more for the single player to see how the story ended, and then the multiplayer as well because they had like the horde mode in that one. So
Right.
that one was freaking awesome.
Oh yeah. Did you ever get the seriously achievement? I never fucking got that thing.
What was the achievement like?
So Bri was trying to get the achievement called seriously, which is 50,000 kills in
Uh,
multiplayer. Something like that, like 10,000, some
hmm,
ridiculous fucking achievement that we never got. We
no, I
never
never.
fucking got it.
I
Um,
usually got trounced in multiplayer. Honestly, like
we were pretty good.
I wasn't that good.
We were pretty good. We got to be pretty good. Now by pretty good, I don't mean like
It,
ranked or anything. But yeah, we even had a
Oh yeah, yeah, I
yeah, we even
remember
had a
that.
clan, a TFL Team Flatline, like that we were so good at that game back in the day. As far as like
That brings me
again
back to high
being
school, man.
scrubs, not being like competitive, because you get into competitive and they'll skull fuck you. Like
Yeah,
it's not even competitive at that point. 100%, but never got the seriously achievement. But yeah, you had Fable, you had Perfect Dark. I think they look good. I think the one critique I could throw is not a whole lot that's showing up this year outside of Indiana Jones, which looks good, which looks really good too. Um, but yeah, I'm with you. I agree. I think those games look pretty lit. Now Caesar, you weren't upset by the women's chins or some of the other shit the weirdos are mad about.
about the what? The women's
The
pins?
jaw lines or the chins or something that these weirdos are all fucking pissed about.
Oh, listen, I like my video game characters to look like fantasy characters. You know what I
Me too.
mean?
Me too.
Um, but there comes a point where it's just kind of like crying about it ain't gonna change anything.
No.
So it is what it is.
No.
Honestly, it's not really that big of a deal. Like homeboy Crumbs
Yeah,
likes to
Grums,
complain
Crumbs.
about.
Yeah. The grifter. Yeah. Which again, like, pick your battles. Pick your battles, homie. That's what I would tell that guy. Like, pick your battles.
Listen, like
There's some battles that are worth
okay,
having in that exact avenue, but that's not like.
no, it's not that serious, honestly. It's listen, we got Stellar Blade, okay, and look how gorgeous Eve was in that game. We
Yeah, she
have
was
like
fine.
near
She was
automata,
fine for sure.
stuff fine as fuck. Look, but there are games that unfortunately, the developers don't have that high fantasy art style, so they I don't know. I mean, honestly, like, would I prefer less jawline? Okay, sure, probably. But like I said, it's not really that big of a fucking deal. I'm still gonna play Perfect Dark when it comes out.
Yeah, it just depends. Like, when I think sex appeal characters, like, and I'm not saying that, but again, maybe it's just me because I'm coming at this from the N64 and these blocky fucking, like, I just don't think video game characters in general for the most part. Now there are characters like Eve, there are characters like what's it in Final Fantasy VII. Tifa looks pretty fine. Aerith, they look good.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Good. Mainly
Scarlet.
maybe mainly Japanese games. Let's be honest. Mainly Japanese games.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah, you noticed that, right?
Oh,
It's
I've
mostly the
definitely
Japanese
noticed that.
market.
Definitely noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely noticed that the Japanese tend
Or
to
the
be put a little
European ones.
European ones.
Yeah, I mean, look at Rare. Rare is a European developer. They're not American.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
They're
Yeah.
British. I think. Yeah, I think they're British. Isn't Rare British? Uh, they made the original Joanna Dark, and the HD remastered Joanna Dark was like, holy crap! That's what I guess what they originally envisioned her to look like. And then Perfect Dark Zero came out. That was a different art style that had a more anime look to it. And I guess they were just trying to appeal to a younger audience because let's face it, that game really didn't take itself too seriously. And even then, she looked pretty good. But I still prefer the original HD version of Perfect Dark,
Okay.
Joanna
Because I
Dark.
remember the
That's
first Perfect Dark, and
pinnacle.
it's like a pile of blocks. Like, let's be honest.
Oh yeah,
But you
I
said
mean,
there's an HD original Perfect Dark. Let me take a look at this.
okay, so it came out on Xbox Live Arcade on the 360, and it's
Okay.
also part of the Rare Replay. So that has like the updated artwork for Joanna Dark in her HD form. Oh, fantastic!
Okay. Here she is.
Best look
Okay.
for Joanna Dark, unfortunately.
Yep.
She looks more kind of like she got that like Lara Croft look going on. And it's Lara, guys and girls, not Laura. I have to get
Yeah.
that on the
I never knew how to pronounce that,
system.
so it is Lara. Okay.
It's Lara, Lara, not Laura. I don't know why people say Laura. Laura.
Yeah.
Uh,
I know it's not Laura, but like Lara. Okay. So
uh,
2010 render. Here it is. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah,
You dig it? Yep.
I can see the appeal for sure. Now I'm looking, and I'm looking
Like
at the new
attractive.
Perfect Dark, and she doesn't look terrible. Like the new Perfect Dark
She
doesn't look
doesn't.
terrible. She doesn't look great, but she
She
doesn't
don't
look
look like that HD render,
right,
but
but not looking terrible. So
we
yeah,
didn't see much of her in the first place. So we'll see how she looks from a different angle. Maybe she looks a little better, less, less. It's like I don't know.
as
People
I
people
as I
exaggerate, and then they edit the pictures to make the jawline more pronounced,
I
and
saw
that's when
that
it's just
shit.
like, okay,
Yeah, that's when
you know,
y'all are looking to get mad, but that's the whole thing. That's like the whole social media in general. Both sides of it have become so toxic, man. Like
yep, yep,
it's just
yeah.
become unbelievably toxic, and like not just that side of things, but you've also got like right now. I think you've got like just about every YouTuber is in like a fucking feud now, which kind of just throws fucking fire on the pile for my argument about what happens ultimately with these things. So what is it? You got Rich from Review Tech, you got like the Smash JT dude, and you've got like I think 8-Bit Eric are in like a fucking death dance right now.
What is it, like a triple threat match?
Yeah, it's like a triple threat
I'll put all
match,
three
except
of
they're
them in
all
the
about to
ladder match.
yeah, they're about to knock the fuck out all three of them. And it's just like, man, this is what it comes to, huh? Like this is why do you think I fucking bowed out my first time through this shit, man? It just seems like nobody has any real friends in terms of this shit because there's just too much goddamn ego involved. And it's just sad
Yeah,
because like
pretty much.
can't we just get back to fucking talking about video games and loving video games? But no, they want to throw all their ego into
I
it. So
say, I mean, like, when was the last time Review Tech USA ever reviewed tech? Right?
it's been a long time.
All like
Well, me and Rich got a long.
all
Me and
that dude
Rich
talk.
actually have a long back history, but I'm not going to get into that. Goes well beyond my zoo handle. We got a history with that guy. I got beef. I got serious history with that guy. And actually, I think I've got him blocked right now on Twitter just because he's annoying. But in general, yeah. When does he
Yeah,
review
that
tech last? Don't know. Don't even know.
I don't know,
But
man.
it brings
It's
me,
it's just a cesspool of
yeah.
losers up there, and
So brings me to my question: how the fuck do you guys do it? Because so far, like Super Retro Force does seem like a fairly stable group of fucking people over there. Like you're just talking about liking video games and enjoying video games, and like holy shit, like how you guys do it? How do you guys stick to that? 'Cause it seems like nobody else
can
fucking
we
can.
just? I mean, we just chat about. We shoot the shit constantly on
Right?
Twitter, like almost in the private chats, and we're all like, we all joke around with each other, like we say some fucked up shit to each other, and it's just like, oh well, whatever. We grew up in the '90s, most of us,
Yes.
so like nothing really phases us. You know
Nah,
what
I'm
I'm
the same
saying?
way,
So
man. Like I'm pretty hard to
it's a
offend.
generational thing.
I'm pretty hard to offend.
Yeah, I mean, like it is what it is. Like we're all cool with each other. We all have that mutual respect for each other and what we're trying to do. So it's not like we're stepping on each other's toes, or we're not trying to like,
Right.
oh man, fuck this guy. We don't like this guy. Let's kick him out of the group. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing like that.
Yeah, no blood
We're all
sport
just
stuff going on. Everybody's adults. Everybody's doing good, and
yeah,
guys are doing good. What do you
we
got?
want this to
Didn't you pass 500 just recently?
yeah. We did, yeah. We
Fucking
just
yeah,
want this to
man.
succeed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
Put in the
it's.
work and
I think you're doing good so far. Occasional homeless guy yelling at you, but can't help that. Like,
oh, I love him. I fucking love him. Listen, if that's his gimmick, then so be it. You know what I mean? You can talk shit about all of us. Talk shit about me. I don't give a fuck.
pull up, pull.
It's the internet. We can get away with it.
No, that's fucking great.
Pull up.
Pull up, 50 fucking deep.
Pull up. Yeah, man.
I almost cut a diss track on that, homie. Almost did. I just needed the videos. All I needed. Basically, I was gonna get a video of a step ladder from Amazon, and
Yeah.
like the whole gist of it was like, hey, just by the way, man, $39 is a great fucking deal for that. Like you should look into it. Like That was going to be the whole thing, but I ended up not doing it just because it wasn't my thing. But if he kept pushing it, I would have done it. But man, I would have loved it. It would have been fun to clown that guy, but at the same time, like it's not really worth my time because I actually asked him to come on the show and he wouldn't do it. So like,
Like I said, I don't think it's anything really personal there. It's just hate for the sake of views. You know what I'm saying? Like I said,
well,
everybody
it's not
has their
working.
gimmick.
It's not working.
Uh, but listen, if you want to be a heel on YouTube, by all means, be a heel. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
Whatever makes
I
you
I used to
money.
do that. I used to do that. I can tell you, one heel to another, that guy's not working. Like, what's he got? Like 10 views here and 12 views there, but oh man, like, oh well. But long story short, again, I think there's really something to be said about ditching all that shit and just talking about video games and loving video games. So, in the interest of that, let me tell you what I've been playing. So, I've been playing a little game lately called Loop Hero. Got a physical on the Switch, and I got to tell you, man, this game is one of those games that I've never gone from zero, like literally 0 to 60 so fucking fast in my life. When I started this game, I'm just like, man, I don't know about this. And literally by the time I was like 2 minutes into it, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I totally get this. Have you ever had an experience like with a game that whiplashy to where like you really think you're not gonna like it, and then literally like a couple minutes later, you totally get it now?
Yeah, actually, with
Okay,
Divinity 2, I
Divinity 2
I got a
Original
weird.
Sin. Okay,
No, hang on, not Original Sin.
just
It's the Dragon
Divine.
Knight Saga.
Okay, gotcha.
Uh, This one, okay. Divinity 2, Dragon Knight Saga,
Okay,
also known as Ego Draconis.
so tell me about that one.
This this one's made by
Fucking
Larian
Larian Studios,
Studios.
baby. Yeah, Larian Studios is like the
So,
shit. Sven Vink.
like, yeah, like, I was going into it, I was expecting kind of like a Skyrim kind of game, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Not as polished, a little bit more janky, as in Skyrim couldn't get more janky. Uh, I got that. However, like, there was the one town I got into where, like, the music was just, and I mentioned this in one of your past, Look It
Yeah.
Up in Lives. There was the music just hit so good. It was called Broken Valley Wakes. I I just started vibing with the music, and I
No, I
was
listened to that song.
like,
That song's next level.
and then I was listening to some of the other songs in this game, and it's just like it's one of those games where the gameplay is not that like polished. The combat kind of sucks, but it's still playable. You know what I'm saying? And then it's the
Right.
music that really pushes me, and then the story and the voice acting is also very intriguing as well. So not great in the gameplay department, but with the music, the voice acting, yeah, like the game, like the actual story, like it's hooked me. And I've been playing this one quite a bit, actually. I was playing it earlier, and the music alone, I actually was taking a nap to the soundtrack. It's that good.
I think music is generally so underrated in terms of like it might be the most important thing. I mean, even over gameplay, there are some games where I think it might be the most important thing is the sound and music design. I think it is
It can
so
make or break a game
underrated
for me.
generally. Oh yeah, 100%. Um, I think of so many of my favorite games of all time, and they all have fantastic fucking music soundscape. They all have that. I don't think there's a single one of
It's
my
like
favorite games of all time that doesn't have a epic, legendary level soundtrack.
it's like a perfect storm. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Without the music, it's missing something.
Yeah.
And you're right. Of all the games that I call like my top games of
Uh
all
huh.
time, like Halo, um,
Marty O'Donnell.
Valkyria Chronic Valkyria Chronicles,
Uh huh.
uh, Skyrim, some of those
Skyrim. Yeah.
games, like the Ace Attorney series, uh, I could go on and on. AI, the Somnium File series, those two games,
Oh
the
my God, we're
soundtracks were
gonna have
just
to. Oh, we
tr-
gonna have. We're gonna have to talk about AI real quick now that you fucking mentioned that. AI is one of the
Okay.
games. It's one of the games that got me into VNs. It's one of the games. Now that one in particular is a great entry point because it's not like a VN's VN. It actually has like real gameplay as well.
Yeah.
So I
Hmm.
feel like that's an awesome entry point. But if you want to talk about a video game that just had me fucking laughing my ass off throughout, and it has its serious moments, but I don't think I've ever laughed as much as in any other game in my life as I laughed at some of the stuff, some of the shit you can do with IBA and AI the Somnium files. I look so forward to reviewing. The only negative on AI is I've already played it, and so when I do my review of that game, I'm not going to be given a first time, first impression. It'll be the second time I play it to refresh. I won't be able to relive that first time again.
It's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those games that, like most visual novels, once you played it, the impact of the game kind of is lessened
It is.
when you return to it. Unless you return to it years later and you completely forget everything, which I highly doubt, because the story is damn good. You know what I'm saying? Those characters I fell in love with. The humor in that game
Oh God, it's
caught me
awesome.
off guard. I was not expecting the game to be that humorous when it was trying to be humorous. You know what I mean? And it delivered. And in the serious moments, like hell, the game even made me cry towards the end.
No, there are some
I don't want to spoil
very
any.
serious moments, but it's Kagami.
I don't want to spoil anything, but I'll just say the backstory for Aset, uh, like with her mother, like damn man, that shit broke me
A
in
set
so
you
many
bet.
ways. Oh my god, did you play the sequel, Nirvana
I
Initiative?
have the sequel. I've not played it yet. No, not yet.
Prepare for some mindfuckery, bro. That
I bet.
game was just
Now you get to play as his. You get to play as his girl, right? Like his little girl. She's older and she's like working for the detective agency now. My understanding is.
yeah. Yes, you do
Okay.
actually. He takes a back seat. He is a part of the story.
I was gonna say, I hope
But
Dante's still there.
Date's still around. He does take a back seat. Um, so yeah, you'll definitely be paying more with her. And there's another character that's kind of like his apprentice in a way. So you'll also be taking him over him. It's kind of like dual storyline
Okay.
and how it all intertwines. Amazing, fantastic stories.
Another psycho ass killer, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, all right. Well, I'm looking forward to that one definitely. Like I said, I gotta get the fuck done with Loop Hero, and I don't know. I got a buddy V who has been on the show too, and like she says she's put at least 50 hours into that shit. So that scares the shit out of me. It's like, nah, this should be a quicker game than that. But I don't know. I'll play it until I feel like I've gotten everything I need to get out of it to do the review, and then I'll probably move on because it's not like I don't. I'm lacking games to play. Like I told God, that's what guys don't inhale cigars. Don't be fucking stupid. Um, but
Okay.
yeah, don't do that now because I'm about to fucking kill myself on one. So now, in terms of the Switch, I'm going to be at over 500 Switch games by the time this is all said and done. Like this direct kind of finished that off. But you said you had like 6 games that you were like really looking forward to. So what are the big 6? What are we looking at?
Well, fuck. My memory's a little fuzzy
That's all right.
from the direct, but of course, no doubt, I gotta represent one of my favorite RPG series of all time, Dragon
Dragon
Quest
Quest
H3
3.
HD. Oh
Yes,
hell yeah,
it's my
baby!
number one.
That was that's yeah. I'm so hyped for that one. And then they're remaking 1 and 2 as well, which is fantastic. I've never gotten around to really playing those. Like I purchased them digitally
Uh oh.
when they
So
came out on the Switch, but those were mobile ports and they look like shit.
they're awful. That was my biggest thing. I'm
They're
so excited.
terrible.
I'm so excited we're getting physicals of those because, as I said, now I can throw that cart in the trash where it belongs and rid the world of a.
I didn't even buy a physical, thank God.
No, I don't even blame you on that. I can't even hold that one against you. Like that game literally should not exist. So having it digital is very fitting. That game should literally not exist. Now you mentioned that they're doing Dragon Quest One Plus Do HD remake. They're doing Dragon Quest 3. That makes me wonder
Mhm.
if they're going to be using the SNES ports of the Dragon Quest 3 and Dragon Quest 1 plus 2. I'm wondering if they're going to use that as the template for their 2D HD. And if that's the case, are we going to get the fucking Pachisi boards or not? Because I remember having so much fun with the Pachisi boards on the Game Boy Color version of this shit. In fact,
I would think they would
Dragon
use.
Warrior 3 was the first RPG JRPG I ever beat completely. By the way, full disclosure.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I'm very very
Oh,
excited.
hopefully they make. I'm hoping they make this the definitive ways to play them, and I think that's their goal. So we'll see.
Oh, I'm very excited.
We'll
So
see. I like the just the potential here for a potential Zenithian trilogy remake as well for 4, 5, and 6, which is my favorites personally.
well,
So I look
five, yeah,
forward to
five
seeing.
might be my favorite of all time. Dragon
Yeah, 5
Quest
is my
Five
favorite
is
of all time.
really good. I love the family tree story that's
Yeah,
going in that game, and
Hand of the
that's
Heavenly
really cool.
Bride.
Very cool. So in terms of mine, you can't talk about the direct without talking about the we actually got it. We actually got Metroid Prime 4.
Oh, okay. We can get to Metroid Prime 4, but that's like the main event. Why do you want to get to the main course so soon? There was other announcements they announced. The
Because
new
I'm
Mario and
excited.
Luigi game, Brothership.
So tell me why I should be
I
excited.
know you're excited.
Yeah, tell me why I should be excited for this. I'm not saying you're wrong. I've never played a Mario and Luigi game. Or how do these stack up to like Mario RPG or like the Paper Mario game?
These honestly are some of the best
Oh,
Mario RPG games you can ever get.
now
Like
you're getting me.
also I
Now
have
you're getting me
the
excited. Okay.
and unfortunately they never remade Partners in Time, the second one, which is on the DS. It's over there somewhere.
Okay.
Um, but those all got like for the 3DS, and they're great, man. Like they're just fun. They got so much humor, and they build up upon. It's not just taking place in the Mushroom Kingdom as well. So I think you'll like that factor, where
That's
it takes
exciting.
place in like other
They
kingdoms.
expand.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
like
I'm
I thought this series was dead because
Alpha
they
Dream.
closed down Alpha Dream.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering who's developing this one. If it's Nintendo internally, you know what I mean? Like I'm curious, but I'm excited. I'm happy that the Mario and Luigi series is not dead because I know a lot of people were really upset when Alpha Dream closed down, which was unfortunate. Don't get me wrong, but we'll see how it goes. It looks awesome so far.
It looks fantastic. In terms of like, the graphical direction, really digging what they're doing with that. Looks really cool. And sorry about the coughing and the snorting, honk snoring. I promise, guys, it's not on purpose. I absorbed some cigar smoke I shouldn't have absorbed. So I know it sounds like a flock of fucking gout geese is coming out every 5 seconds, but bear with me here. Like I'm slowly gonna
It's all
recover.
right.
But now in terms of yes, we got Mario Brotherhood, we've got Donkey Kong Country Returns, which I'm very excited for. I love that game back on the Wii, so that'll be kind of cool to see
I
again.
I saw some fool some fool on Twitter posting like side by side
I
screenshots of
saw
the
that.
trailer from the trailer. What the fuck, bro? Get a life. Go touch some fucking grass. Like, are
Yeah,
you
that was wild.
kidding me? That
Yeah.
game, it was a trailer. Trailer. Game still has time. And if you're really that bothered, play it on the fucking Wii. It still goes good on the Wii. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I'm sorry. I saw that post and it was like, oh man,
So
don't you
Caesar,
get it?
I
These
don't know if
kids
you know this.
nowadays.
I don't know if you know this, but the crystals on the one mine cart level were slightly darker than the one on the Wii. Not adhering to
The
the
lighting was
original.
wrong.
Yeah, not
The
adhering
bat
to the
sonar
original.
attack was different.
That's so,
Fuck off. I'm happy that game is finally getting the HD treatment. Like that was one I was really hoping that would
they
get
needed
an
to
HD
curate
treatment.
that for sure.
for sure, and it's got all the content from the 3DS edition. So I'm happy. I'm gonna get it definitely
Oh,
because I love
100%.
the Donkey Kong Country Returns games.
Nintendo, where
Tough
the
ass
fuck is
games though.
Punch Out? Either a new one or port that Wii one. Where the fuck is my Punch Out game?
That's another good one. That's one I still have to get on the Wii actually. That and the Poke Park games. I got to get those games as well.
Where's my Punch Out? I need it, Nintendo. I need it. Either make a brand new one or port that Wii one is fantastic. They did a great
Yeah,
job with
that
that.
one was good, man.
Yeah, it was so good.
I love that game.
I was so excited to see that, and it sold well too. It sold over 1 million. Yeah,
I
it did
gotta get
well.
it. I
It
gotta buy it.
did very well. It outsold Other M. Not that that's a high bar.
Are you gonna go there? Oh man, other end.
Other M just
Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna go there because I briefly because
Hey, listen, we don't gotta bring up other end, man. This ain't Twitter.
I know. I just fucking Rush Dog was on there being doing the well actually thing, and it's like yeah, I get
Well,
it.
Rush
He
Dog is
had a good
always there
point.
to correct me.
He had a good point. He had a good point there. But again, like, nah, you're never gonna see me defend Other M in any way. Like, I will snipe that game till the
I
end of fucking time.
I think you will defend Shine before you ever defend other M.
I will. Sunshine. Say what you
I
want
know you
about
will.
Sunshine. Sunshine sold what 4 million copies on the GameCube for. I mean, honestly, did about what 3D Mario did prior to Odyssey. It did about if you look at the if you look at the install base of the cube, it did about what 3D Mario typically does in terms of install base. It did
That's because Sunshine was a fun ass game.
yeah. And I'm sure it was. But point being is, you can say what you want about Sunshine. You can say what you want about 3D Mario. You can say what you want about Onuma Zelda. None of those games did the damage to their franchise that Other M did. Not one of them. Nothing
Other
EG
M did some
Aonuma has
damage.
ever produced, nothing 3D Mario has ever done, has come close to the level of damage done to that Other M did to Metroid. It was a shame, man.
It, it may have only been 7 or 8 years since Metroid returned from Other M, but god damn, that was a long ass wait, man. It felt like 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and that's kind of the point I was making to Rush. It's like, look, man, like when I use the term fridge, I'm using the literary term, and what I mean by fridge is sent out to fucking die. So you can say all you want that there's been other Metroid games, but ain't nobody bought those fucking games. So did they really exist? Might as well not have. I mean, if you're gonna sit there and tell
And
me with a
look,
fucking straight face that fucking Federation Force counts, like get whatever. I'll give you Samus Returns. That was at least a good game. They still fridged it. They still sent it out to die. Tail end of the fucking GameCube when the Switch was in full swing. That should have been on the Switch if they give a shit about it. But they seem to finally be treating Metroid well now because Metroid Dread they really put some oomph behind, and it seems like they're going to put some oomph, like Rush Dog said with Metroid Prime 4. Looks like they're really going to put some oomph. It literally was the marquee showcase at this. So we'll see. We'll see if Metroid can recover. I still say Metroid hasn't recovered. It's recovered quality wise, but it hasn't recovered the goodwill of the fans. And the reason I say that is you look at 3 million. Well, 3 million's great. What did the original Metroid sell? 2.73 million in 1988. It's not
I
back.
did
It's
feel
not
like
back there yet.
Dread definitely should have sold better,
Yeah,
but
Dread needs like 7 million in order to keep pace with OG Metroid. He needs like 7 million games.
not every fan or owner is a Metroid fan. Unfortunately, they're
No,
missing out, but
no, but
that's
I
just
don't
how it
think I'm
is.
asking a lot for 7 million people out of the 155 million Switches that there's going to be soon. You know,
Yeah.
when it quote unquote passes the PlayStation, although I'm sure Lion Crying Jim Ryan will find an extra 5 million, 10 million PlayStation 2s that just magically sold all of a sudden. I'm sure that'll happen if that
Why is
happens.
that
So.
motherfucker still talking? I thought he got resigned already.
Oh, I'm sure he's not. I'm just being a smartass. Like Because he literally came out of the
Yeah,
woodwork
but
and
I
said, "What?
saw an
We
article.
found another 15
Yeah.
million PS2s." No, you didn't, liar. No, you didn't.
Oh, he's such a wrinkled ass. I can't stand him.
Well, he's gone. Now we just got to get fucking Phil Spencer
Lion
out of
Count.
Microsoft.
Oh man, Philly Phil.
I
Yeah,
got to
yeah,
boot
he's
Phil
got to
Spencer,
go.
the fucking Grim Reaper of video games. Like really? You're really
Game
gonna
Pass was a
fire the
mistake.
entire Tango studio? You're gonna fire that whole Tango Games? You gonna fire all those fucking guys? You're crazier than hell, man. They made one of your best games.
Well, you know what? When Shinji Mikami left,
Yeah.
he was I feel like the writing was on the wall for that studio already.
When did
There was
Shinji?
never
Now
going to
when
be
did
an
he
Evil
leave?
Within 3 without him. Oh, he left way before the studio closed. Way before.
Okay.
I think he left maybe 3-4 years ago.
Okay. Well,
Evil Within 2 came out.
it's interesting you mentioned that point. So when that Suicide Squad abomination came out, what is it? Suicide
Gross.
Squad Kill the Justice League? Fucking absolute
Yeah.
abomination of a game from what I heard. Now one of Andy B's friends actually said he liked it, but I don't know. You're gonna shoot Batman in the fucking head and make all these ridiculous like decisions with the storyline, make it always online. It just I don't know. It just seems like a very disrespectful thing to do to like your marquee character. It's an official Arkham Asylum game. That's what I'm saying. Like it's crazy. But at the same time,
Well,
if you look at a picture of the art of Rocksteady Games back when Arkham made it, and then you look at the studio now, all the people who
about the
made
same team.
yeah, all the people who made the Arkham games tick, they're all gone. They're all gone. They've been replaced by these new developers. So it's funny you mentioned that because yeah, if a team loses all of its key personnel and staff, is it really the same team?
It's not the same team. I mean, look. I mean, most of the people who developed the original Metroid Prime, I don't think they're still with Retro Studios at this point. You probably have maybe 4 or 5 people still left over, but most of that team is probably fresh faces, probably people retired. You know what I mean? That's just the
Mm-hmm.
way the business works. And Rocksteady in particular, not the same team. Definitely not. They still have the same IP. They're still playing with the Batman series, but they're not the same. Not by a long shot. No way.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of an interesting philosophical question, but I think you're correct. I think that at a certain point, like if all that's left is the name, you ain't the same studio. And I would say the same thing about like fucking BioWare or any of them. Like,
Look at Rare.
yep,
Guys moved on. Rare from the N64
uh huh,
and hell, even like the early GameCube. Those guys are gone, dude. They're not with Rare anymore. Most
yep.
of them moved on to Playtonic and are making the ukulele games.
I like Ukulele and the Impossible Layer. That's another one I can't wait to actually talk
That's a
about.
good fucking game. I gotta play through that some more. And
It's
I'm
so
looking
good.
forward to the remake that they're making for the original ukulele.
They're already remaking that
Yeah,
fucking.
yeah, they're remastering that one. I'm all for it because it was a little rough, the original one.
Was it
I don't know,
okay?
like I played it and I was like, I get what they're trying to go with here, but it's not capturing the same magic as Banjo Kazooie did, which was what their intention was.
Right.
So I'm hoping this remaster cleans up some of the rough edges, and it could be just me. I'm older at this point, you know what I mean? Like I'm a different person than I was all those years ago when I played the original Banjo Kazooie, but I still love me some Banjo Kazooie, you know what I'm saying? So we'll
Banjo's a
see.
classic.
Uh,
Banjo's now.
yeah, I'm still a 3D platformer guy at heart. You know what I
Well,
mean?
here's the thing,
That's just
and
how I am.
again, I'm weird. Okay, I'm a fucking weirdo with this. And what I mean by that is I'm not against 3D platforming, and I give you Banjo Kazooie as proof of that. It's not that I'm against 3D platformers. I love the shit out of Banjo Kazooie. I love that game. I
Did you
think
play Banjo Tooie?
I never played Banjo Tooie. No, I didn't get a chance to play that one. But I played Banjo
Bruh,
Kazooie. But all right, I will have to Banjo Tooie. Okay, and is that like that's the sequel?
that's the sequel, baby.
Okay,
That's
all right,
if you thought Banjo Kazooie was a big adventure, Banjo Tooie ups it, man.
okay.
And I know a lot of people complain and say, "Oh, it's too big, it's too interconnected, there's too many mini games." To hell with all that.
No,
When
that's
I was
Donkey
a
Kong
kid,
64. That's Donkey Kong
oh,
64.
it's not as bad as Donkey Kong
I was gonna
64.
say Donkey
Now,
Kong 64 is the too much game.
yeah, it's the too much game. Banjo Tooie took everything I loved about Banjo Kazooie and just made it bigger.
Okay, all right. Well, that sounds like a great problem to have. So yeah, I'm not against 3D platformers. Full disclosure, I know it sounds like it, guys. I'm against 3D Mario, not against 3D platformers. What I mean by that is 3D platformers are fine. What's not fine is taking a gameplay identity like 2D Mario and then doing this ghastly Buffalo Bill reskinning and having your cake and eating it too. That's what I rejected. Or if you want to make 3D Mario, that's fine, but give me my 2D Mario. That's where that bitterness came from.
You are a special case, Zoo. I think you're the only dude that didn't want to see gaming evolve from 2D to 3D.
I didn't.
You see, back then, I didn't, like, for me, it was just like the evolutionary step. You know what I mean? It was the natural progression
It was
of video
clunky
games
as it
from
was clunky as fuck.
2D.
The camera sucked. The
It was
clunky
clunky, it
controls.
was.
Blech.
But if there's one game that did it well, it was Mario 64. If you still haven't played that game, then
I
please go
have.
back and
Oh,
play
I
it.
played. I played Mario 64, and here's the thing. Like, here's what back in the day I remember saying, "Yeah, this is cool. Can't wait for my 2D Mario."
2D Mario, yeah, didn't
Can't,
happen.
and that's where the anger comes from, right there. Like, you gotta put yourself in my shoes. Like, 2D Mario at that time was the greatest selling game ever. It sold tens and tens and tens of millions of copies every time that one came out. And so I am denied. So it's one thing to deny somebody their favorite game, but my favorite game is the best selling game series of all time at that point. Why should that be denied for any reason? Why? Because you don't want to make that game again, Shigeru Miyamoto? Is that why? Go fuck yourself. You know what? If I'm Yamauchi, you're making a 2D Mario game, motherfucker. And if you don't want to do it, I'll get some young kid to do it. Some young kid who grew up and loves Mario and loves these games, and I'll have him do it. But we're getting a fucking 2D Mario. You can oversee it. Like, that's what I'm doing. But no, it was
I mean,
daycare time at Nintendo Studios. It was daycare time. Do whatever you love. Just do what you want. I wish I could go to work and do what I want. This is fucking nonsense, man. And this is something that's been building up for a long time for me. Only in the video games industry, and only really specifically only at Nintendo, do you get to do what you want at work. I don't get to fucking do what I want at work. I have to run my business like a business. The bus driver doesn't get to do what he wants. No, the bus driver has to drive the same fucking lanes and the same routes everywhere he goes. But at Nintendo, it's different. Nintendo, we literally get to do whatever the fuck we want to do, whether it makes money or not. Yeah, hey, Sakamoto, don't worry about getting a bath. Don't worry about making Samus like the same character that everybody loves. Don't fucking worry about giving controls that are worth the fuck. Just do whatever you want, Sakamoto. Hey, Anuba, don't worry about satisfying that old Zelda appetite. Don't worry about that. Just put your weird snot bubble NPCs in the game. Just load it with fucking puzzles. Take the sword away. Keep taking Link's fucking sword away and making him do stealth missions. Do whatever you want. Yeah, that fucking game. Yeah, just do whatever you want,
maybe.
Anuma. And that's how it was at Nintendo for a long fucking time. And I am so glad that the adults are back. I am so like people. I saw this one video. It's like, oh, I miss the creativity of the Wii U era. Oh, do you, motherfucker? Really? Do you? Well, I can tell you who doesn't miss it. Fucking Nintendo shareholders don't fucking miss it. They don't miss that creativity. The
Well, they had
shareholders.
there was an era of creative freedom in the field, and I guess Nintendo was the ones who really like kind of had more creative freedom than any other company at the time. But like you said,
Yeah, but it's a
kind of
balance. You
it
got
it doesn't translate to sales,
Yeah, and
unfortunately.
again, that's the thing. Like, I'm okay. Like, creativity is important. Creativity is where your next hit comes from. But that's exactly the point. It's where your next hit comes from. Make a new goddamn game. Why are you putting this bongo shit in Donkey Kong? Make a new goddamn game. Make a bongo game, and yes, make a new character and a new IP for your bongo game, and see how it does. See what the market does with it. Who knows? You might have a hit. You might have a brand new hit IP to stand alongside Donkey Kong. But what you're doing is you think you're having your cake and eating it too. What you're actually doing is you're destroying the opportunity for a new IP, and you're destroying that old IP in the process, because fans are going to look at that and go, "What the fuck is this? That's not the game I signed up for. What? What is this?" And that's what they did. That's what they did all GameCube long, all Wii U long, to a lesser extent, all N64 long. That's what was happening. Is people were coming into these games and be like, "I don't know what the fuck this is, so I'm just going to leave. I'm just going to turn around and, oh, PlayStation looks like it's got some cool shit going on. I'll go see what's going on over here." Like that's what happened. That's what happened to Nintendo. And I am so glad that with the Switch and with Furukawa, I love Iwata. Iwata actually saved gaming with his heart of the gamer speech and his disruptive innovation and his blue ocean strategy. But then Iwata had a tendency to let the devs run him. And Furukawa doesn't let that shit happen. Furukawa says, "No, you will make. Here's some boxes you're gonna check. 2D Mario, 3D Mario, Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, Donkey Kong Country. Even if you got to port it, we're gonna have a Donkey Kong Country on this platform." And on and on and on. And oh, you want to get creative? Okay, make Arms. You want to get creative? Make Splatoon. But it's going to be a new ideas are going to get their own IP. They're not going to fucking do a Buffalo Bill fucking reskinning of these old IPs to ruin those two. Like, I love it. Under Furukawa, we would have got Fluff of Yarn. We wouldn't have got Kirby's Epic Yarn. We would have got Fluff of Yarn. And I think Fluff of Yarn might have went somewhere. I think that could have been a new IP. But anyway, end of old man rant. What do you think, Cesar? Am I off my fucking rocker as usual, or do I have a point here?
I mean, you got a point. I mean, but look at where we are now. Everything happened for a reason,
Yes.
and whatever happened in the past is in the past, and they've learned from it. We've learned from it, and look how well the Switch is doing now. You know
Right.
what I mean?
And,
Like,
and look at
had
Odyssey.
they
27
had they
million.
stuck to their guns, yeah, Odyssey is a great game.
27.
Had they stuck to their guns and continued taking creative, freedom and making more Mario Sunshines and Skyward Swords, then we probably wouldn't be where we at right now. But
We absolutely
but
would.
we are. So
Yeah. Yeah. And again, they,
you know,
you know, notice that they tried Skyward Sword again. I love Enuma to death. He keeps trying. Like, he's like, "Hey, Skyward Sword HD now with controls that aren't shitty," and it sold around 4 million copies. And I hate it. And here's the thing: I actually, as fun as it is for me, I hate it for people who are fans. Like, Nitchquick is a huge fan of Skyward Sword, and it's gotta fucking suck seeing that and being like, "Damn, like there is a hard cap to what I like, and that sucks." But to be
one of
fair,
my best friends loves Skyward Sword.
yeah, and you'll never get another one. You'll never get another one. Not with those fucking sales, like, at all. So, all righty, let's take a look. We've let the super chats kind of collide on us. Let's take a quick peek at those. So, Show Collect
Holy
says,
crap! People are watching us.
"Yeah, every once in a while I draw an audience. I'm going to blame you though, Cesar. It's all you, man. They don't come here to see my goofy ass." So, Chill Collect says, "Yo," and then Surge Bank says, "Yasness." Chill Collect says, "Gears." Brick Barnes says, "Hello." Joe Collects says, "OG Gears multiplayer was the thing. Loved it." Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a permanent, to this day, I think the ass imprint I put in Brian's couch is still there from all the Gears we played. Like, there's still a piece of me in that fucking house, that ass imprint on that couch. Like, we wore that fucking couch out sitting there just doing nothing but playing fucking Gears multiplayer. Then Show Collect says, "I think I got it. Definitely grind multiplayer for that seriously achievement." Yeah, that we couldn't grind enough. So Brick Barnes says, "What do you think of the Nintendo Direct Zoo?" started, when it first started, I was like, you know what? Pretty mid, but I don't know what everybody expected, and that slowly disappeared. That thing, I would say an 8, easy 8 out of 10, easy. Which for this part in the life, what would you give it, Caesar, if you had to give it a numerical score? I know numerical scores are shit, but what would you give it?
Numerical scores. I usually do it on a scale of 1 to 5.
Yeah, 1 to 5 was
Yeah, 4 out of 5. You know
four
what
out
I
of
mean?
five. 4 out of 5
Like,
is good. Yeah.
fuck, they got a 4 from me just for Prime 4 alone. That's it.
Hey,
Everything
by
else was just gravy on top of it.
by the way, can we talk about how Metroid Prime 4? I'm pretty sure of this now. If somebody's can fact check me on this. I'm pretty sure that Prime 4 lapped Silk Song at this point. I'm pretty sure that in the time that Silk Song was announced and has dick for it, that Metroid Prime announced, scrapped all development under Sakamoto's loser ass, was given to a new studio, Retro, a new old studio, restarted development, and got to a golden trailer state. And the time Silk Song has done dig. So I will say this about Silk Song: the clown noses are permanent fixtures now. The clown nose doesn't come off at this point. We're stuck.
That game's never coming out.
We are stuck wearing the clown noses from here on out, peeps. If you're a Silk Song fan, so me, Allie, fucking Lil Ali, like anybody who's a Silk Song fan, don't take the nose off anymore. Nose is we are permanent fixtures with the clown nose now. Don't take it off. We have absolutely been fucking clowned. Like we need a wig now. We need our rainbow wig with our red nose, because we have
Is
been
that damn game ever coming out?
no no no. Yeah, we need to get our clown makeup on. It's never coming out. Never coming out. But I do
I
do
think that
love
game
how.
is in trouble.
Well, here's the thing, and did you see Wooly and Pat did a Castle Super Beast podcast where they were talking about how the goodwill for Silk Song is gone. There's a certain amount of time where that goodwill is there, especially if you Kickstarter it, which they did. Like that really fucks things. But people are done. People are done with the excuses. People are done with it. Put the goddamn game out. Show us what you have, or sit out at this point. Like the goodwill is just gone for that game. So what are you playing with there?
Oh, this is Lizzie from Rampage.
Oh, my favorite Rampage guy. Fucking Rampage World
So
Tour. One of my favorite
I
arcade
have
cabinets.
George and Ralph over here, but
You got all of them.
I've been rearranging things.
Got the whole fucking gang.
Oh, they actually these are awesome, man. They make sounds and
Yes.
everything. They're like Stretch Armstrong figures, basically.
I know Stretch Armstrong.
And then I have Ralph still
The
in his
Wolf.
box,
Yeah.
complete. These little Walmart exclusives. These are awesome, dude. I love
Dude,
these
Rampage
guys.
is.
I just
Every time I go to Galloping Ghost, that's one of the cabinets I hit up for at least 30 minutes. Like, I'll go on I'm
well,
good at that game.
you like World Tour, right?
World Tour. Yep.
World Tour. Did you ever play the one on the? Did you ever play Total Destruction on the GameCube, PS2, and Wii?
No.
This one?
No.
Good fucking game. It's Rampage. Like, okay, Rampage is the kind of game you can't play for too long, otherwise you'll get bored of it real fast.
Yeah, I do about 30
This
minutes
was
every
like
time I'm there.
that's it, and it's basically that. You know what I mean? It's
But
got the
here's
original
the thing.
Rampage and Rampage
Yeah.
World Tour in here as well.
Nice. So that's a trifecta then. So here's the thing about Rampage is, yeah, it's only good for about 30, 40 minutes, but it's good for 30 or 40 minutes infinitely. You'll play that game 1,000 times before you die, and have fun every time you play it. It's like it's kind of like Total Carnage is another one. Oh,
Good shit.
yeah.
I got the PS1 version over there.
My buddy Aaron had that version. Yeah, it was great. But yeah, so Brooke, I would say
like
4 out of 5. I would say 4 out of 5, 8 out of 10. I think those are good scores. Wasn't the best direct, but it was way fucking better than it ever had any right to be this late in the game. Was not expecting that. Was expecting a whole bunch of ports. And I will tell you one thing that shocked me, and it's not Nintendo's fault. It's the fact that third-party Western studios are fucking dumb shits. And that is the fact that all Western third-party support has essentially dried up at this point. They've decided they don't want to make money putting their old games like Dishonored, games like Mass Effect, games like OG Dead Space. They've decided, no, we don't like money. We're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna go all in on fucking the 4K twins and always online and DRM and gambling mechanics and loot boxes and fucking
Ain't, ain't
they've just
ain't that
decided they're
all
going to commit
EA though?
suicide.
EA doesn't like Nintendo.
EA does not like Nintendo. Yeah, that's true. That is a
Yeah,
fact.
they're they're, they're not going to support it.
No,
I
and
mean, listen, if they really wanted to, they could sell of Madden's Switch editions if they wanted to,
100%.
but they don't care. They don't want to.
Nope, they sure don't.
They don't.
Meanwhile, they're just I don't know what the fuck that the Western studios are doing, with the exception of EA. I can tell you all about what EA is doing because EA famously, true story, guys. Trip Hawkins, the original EA CEO, literally had to be threatened by his own board that he would either make a game for the NES or they were firing him and replacing him. That's literally what happened.
They
Like
should.
he's
They should do
so
that more often.
yeah. No, he absolutely refused to make games for the NES because he was supporting the PCs at the time. He was a PC guy. And they said, look, this isn't working for us. Look at all the customers on the NES. You can make an NES game, or we can get somebody who will make NES games. You have no choice in the matter. And so he ended up porting a lot of games over to NES. And of course, the moment the Sega Genesis became viable, like all the sports games went over there. Like EA just people who say that it's just business, they are humanity deniers. There is always a human element at play, even in business, and there is some real bad blood that historically is between EA and Nintendo. So you can say all you want that if Nintendo system sold, EA would be there. Well, the Nintendo Switch says otherwise. I'm sorry, it
Yep.
absolutely says otherwise. Um, so sup, Cesar? How you doing, Zoo? We're doing good. I'm feeling a little bit tipsy here. I'm on my third Long Island iced tea, but Caesar is keeping me in check here as best he can. What are you drinking again, Caesar? You got some hard cider, didn't you?
Yeah, I finished it already. It was it's called Red's Hard Apple Peach.
Yeah, Red's got
This
some
one.
good shit. Apple peach sounds good.
It was good. I downed it and I feel a little lightheaded, but I don't know why. It's probably
um,
because I'm hungry.
so Upper Nimbus says, let's see. He says, AI hype,
What's up,
let's go.
number?
Yeah, for the Somnium Files, you bet. What's up, Upper Nimbus? Surge says, thanks to learning the charge shot, I was finally able to defeat Chill Penguin. Yeah, got to have that charge shot. You also got to remember the dash, my friend.
Shut up! I don't want to hear
Yeah, the dash helps in that fight too.
it. Yeah, it was funny when he was in your Liquored Up in Live. I posted that troll comment about the Mega Man series, and you
Yeah,
guys
now he's
got so
back.
offended. I was like, nah, it was just it's just a joke. I legit want to get into the Mega Man games, but I know they're gonna kick my ass.
Yeah.
I will get into them eventually.
Start with if you're starting with OG Mega Man, start with Mega Man 4. It's a little bit easier.
I heard
Um,
two was the way to start.
2 is also a good start. I usually draw people to 4 just because 2 has its tough points. Like fucking Quick Man stage is a piece of shit. I don't care what anybody says. Like everybody talks about how great fucking Mega Man 2 is. Like, I'm sorry. Quick Man stage is fucking balls. It sucks. Um Terrible stage. Fucking
Fantastic stage
terrible.
states
No, Mega Man 3 is of course the superior game. All I'm gonna say. Um
of the
of
original
the
NES.
original run, it's Mega Man 3 is the superior game. The only thing, and Surge made a good point, which is the Doc Robot stages. So it's got its problems too. Those Doc Robot stages are also very shit, but it's nowhere near as egregious as fucking Quick Man's bullshit stage. That stage is such bullshit. That's such a bullshit stage. Like, don't like it. Upper Nimbus says, I'm so hyped for DK Returns. Me too, Nimbus. Me too, man. I love that game. I think Tropical Freeze is better, but I'm not going to complain having both games. Now they just need to get me like a Donkey Kong Country OG trilogy on physical. Make my fucking life. Like, I would love to have DK see. I mean, I've got it on Super Nintendo, so I mean, it's not a necessity, but sure would be great to just have everything on the Switch. I'll tell you. Like,
That's the dream.
that is the dream. Absolutely. Rare in 2024 is definitely not the same Rare that we grew up with, Serge says. Yeah, you're right, man.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Great
Who
Waz
knows?
here. What's going on, Wah? Thanks for coming in. Sunshine was a good game, so I'm told. So I'm told.
It is.
Then Brick says, "No, Zoo, not off your rocker. You're good." Well, that's good to hear. Again, I got Cesar keeping me in check. Otherwise, I certainly would be. Great Waz says,
Sunshine is a good game. It is a good
it
game,
is on
and
the
I'm
list,
sorry.
and again, removed from my bitterness of not having 2D Mario, I might actually like it. So I think Silk Song, Great Wah says, is done, and they are waiting on the Switch 2. Yeah, so
But
what?
why?
Yeah, why? The Switch 2 is suddenly
Why?
going to make that game more fucking viable? Like, it's a
That
fucking it's a
that doesn't make
fucking
any
hand painted
sense.
Metroidvania. It can absolutely be on the Switch. If that's the case, I'm not saying you're wrong,
Yeah,
the Great Wall.
release.
I'm just saying if that's their reasoning, they're fucking stupid.
Yeah, the logic behind that decision would be freaking ridiculous. Like the install base of the Switch, you want to release it on the regular
Yes.
Switch, if
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. I don't think
Release it
all
on
the.
everything.
And at this point, keep in mind, Juan, keep in mind, everybody, there's Kickstarter money involved here. Like that's the real fucking issue. That's what Wooly was talking about on Castle Super Beast. At a certain point in time, like there's no excuse that's going to be like, hey, we've been sitting on your money for fucking 10 years. Like, like at a certain point, people are just going to get fucking livid. Like, and rightfully so. And I'm not
Mighty
saying
number 9.
mighty number nope. Yes. Fucking mighty number nope. Terrible ass game. And I don't even think I'm not saying there's anything duplicitous or like nefarious or surreptitious involved, guys. I think what's happening is I think they're trying to do the same thing they did with Hollow Knight. I think they're trying to deliver more than they promised. I think they're trying to just deliver a ton of fucking bang for your buck. And it's at this point, it's fucking killing the goodwill. Like, scale it back, release a game. If you got to put out DLC, put out the fucking DLC. You got to get something out to these people.
There's yeah, something is there's some truth to being too ambitious.
Yes, and that's what I think. That's exactly it. That's exactly it, Caesar. I think they went too ambitious with this. And at this point, the main thing now is just getting those people whose money you've sat on for like 5 years now. Get them something. Just get them something. Like if you got to do the base game and you got to put all the bells and whistles later, just get them something. Like at this point, because like if you look, it used to be a joke. People used to laugh it off. There's not laughing anymore. It's starting to turn mean if you look in their comments section. It's starting to turn mean. It's starting to turn a little vicious.
Yeah,
And I really hate for that team because it's like three fucking people to have to go through what Hello Games did with what's it called? No Man's Sky. Where they started calling that shit No Man's Lie.
No Man's Sky.
But hey, I'll give the guy credit. They fixed it.
They
They
did. They
actually
turned it
fixed it.
around,
It was incredible.
and they're still supporting it to this day.
Yeah. So that might be
And
one of the greatest comeback stories of all time. Honestly,
I believe so.
that's I think gaming historian or internet historian. It's one of the two. Has a great video on like the fall and rise of No Man's Sky. That's an incredible video if you haven't heard that whole story. Basically, like the homies just went dark for like a year and a half after that game launched. And they had like one specific guy and they went through like 9 of him. And all he did was sift and read the hate mail for the team. And that was such a demanding job. They went through like 9 people that literally had to like cycle through doing that. Like, and didn't respond just to read it, just to say, hey, we read your message. And then the rest of the development team just worked on the fucking game. And then like a year and a half of radio silence, they come out with this update. And yeah, it's a marvelous story.
The game came out way too soon to begin with.
Yes.
But it's like you said.
And that was actually
Kickstarter
Sony's
money was
fault. That
involved.
was Sony's fault there. Yeah, Sony rushed
Yeah,
that
because
out.
didn't they publish it?
They published it, and they're the ones that said, hey, we got a hard date on this. So that was actually partially Sony's fault.
That's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
And my dumbass bought it on launch.
I tried to find it. People forget that game was sold out at launch too. I couldn't find it. Every place I went, that game was sold out. People were excited for that fucking game. Like, I couldn't find a copy.
I was excited for it.
Oh yeah. No, I went to like 4 places looking for a copy of that and could not find one. Yeah, lucked out. Hey, Upper Nimbus, especially given that I would have had the PS3 version, it would have been terrible. So let's see. Hey, Upper Nimbus, he says, and Brooks says, I love the Direct and had plenty of games I want to play when they come out. 9 out of 10 for me. Yeah, no, very good Direct for this time in its life, for sure. Says Crud, sorry for the late join, guys. Hope you're all well. Inferno Fox, it's fine. It's a Monday, buddy. I'm shocked we got anybody here. It's a fucking Monday. Mondays are brutal.
Yeah. Thanks for showing up.
Thanks for showing up. Yeah, for sure. And of course, hey, there's Zoo and Cesar. Hey, what's going on, man? Then Upper Nimbus greeting Fox, and then Fox saying sup, buddy. So, all righty. So there goes that. So, all righty.
Great people in the chat.
Got some great people in the chat.
Great people.
Good people.
Great people in the chat, baby.
So what has been you've been working with Super Retro Force for a little bit now. What would you say has been your favorite video that you've worked on with that crew?
That's a tough one. Favorite video? I would probably have to be the one where I dressed up as Hulk Hogan. Honestly, that one's still like peak.
That was
peak for me in terms of like my part.
That was incredible. What made you think of that? What was that, like just a sudden inspiration, or is that something you had long-term planned for that?
That was just like on the moment. Like I was like, wait a minute, I can do something wrestling related since I'm talking about a wrestling game. Let me order this mustache off Amazon. And I got like an Amazon like cheap mustache set, and I just went and did it. And I was like, damn, nice. This was fun. You know what I mean? Like I try to put a little more extra pizzazz into that video. I try to do it every time whenever I'm part of the team videos. But there's some that have me on camera, and there are some that just have me, like my voice. So there's more in the works, and I'm looking forward to seeing how we do with those future plans for the videos, because we got to build that audience even more, and the only way to do that is by having more content. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, I think you guys are doing overall pretty good. I saw Red Bash actually was on a podcast with Radical Reggie on there.
Yeah, it was a very radical podcast indeed.
Yeah, you had Red Bash, you had Radical Reggie. Yeah, it was good. That was
some
good
other
stuff.
guy named Rad.
Yeah, Johnny Rad or something like that. Yeah, it was like the trifecta of Rad. It was like the NES game, totally rad.
Just got to get Nitro Rad in there, and it's just a
Fuck!
What a hell
talk
of a
about
podcast.
my bucket list for talk. I want to talk to Nitro Rad. Nitro Rad seems really interesting. I like his content. Like he does some excellent content. Nitro Rad does, and I like
very like intricate.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Again, he's one of those like. I wouldn't say nobody's on iPatch Wolf's level as far as like just the amount of fucking shit in those videos, but he's getting up there with iPatch Wolf. Yeah, I'd say so for sure. Then you got like Radical Reggie, who's like he's one of like the OG collector guys. So that was pretty cool to see. Um, um, I was wondering, one of the things I would have had to ask him though is, hey, when's this fucking museum happening, man? When's this fucking
Museum?
North? Oh, if I said one of the things I would have had to ask him if I was on there, I would have had to
Oh,
ask him, yeah,
Radical
where,
Reggie?
yeah,
Yeah.
when's that fucking museum showing up, or where we at on that? Because they've been working on that for like 7 fucking years at this point, man.
Man, that shit's never happened.
I hope it does, because man, they got people donated to that shit. That's why I
I
want
would
that.
love to see a video game
Yeah,
related
so
museum, but
John Hancock, the immortal John Hancock, is working on a museum. I think Radical Reggie, maybe I'm wrong on this, but I think he's has something to do with it, or was on the board or something like that. And so, yeah, they're supposed to be putting a museum together. They got like a website and everything, but there hadn't been a lot of progress. And I'm just kind of curious where they're at with that. Again, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's you know, there's duplicity." I'm not saying there's anything duplicitous happening, but or anything like that. I'm just curious as to where they're at. It would have been nice to get an update on that, but fuck, I don't even know if Rad knew about that.
I'm sure it's very complicated.
Oh
Like,
God, yeah, tax exempt, getting tax exempt status, and having to set up the museum, get the licenses. Yeah, I'm sure it's very fucking complicated, but let's see, you got some comments here. Yeah, so Inferno Fox, yes, that was a really rad collab. Yeah, the rads were off the charts. Like if you got your fallout like radiation detected, you're at like 90 rads at that point.
just
Ah,
fall drop dead because all the radiation poisoning.
other. So anyway, yeah, it's like stuff like that. I saw, yeah, you got your team content going. Yeah, and then however I could help too. Like, yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool to see that effort really kind of taking off. And here's the thing: keeping that community as positive as y'all have kept it. That's the thing, because I look around and not a lot of positivity in the game content creator space these days. So it's always good to see when you can keep that going, man.
Yeah, man, it's just all about staying positive.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
anytime you add negativity to a topic, then you're gonna push a lot of people away.
100%.
So
Yeah. So then Brooke Barnes says, Zoo, did you say you play your games on PC and not console? Just thinking of getting a gaming laptop. Not really sure yet. So let's steer you away from that. Here's why. So,
don't do it. Stick to
yeah.
consoles. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm a console guy. All right.
you would rather, I would rather you stick to consoles and get a gaming laptop. Here's why. So, it's not so much that gaming laptops can't do it. It absolutely can. They do miracle work now, Brett. But a laptop, by its very nature, is a portable PC. And so you're going to be picking that up and setting it down and picking it up and taking it over here and taking it over there. And when you move those PCs are made up. It's not like a console where it is these days. But point being is PCs more than consoles are made up of a whole bunch of hodgepodge, Frankenstein, intricate parts. And it's very easy to jangle that up. And if you don't know what the fuck you're doing to fix it, laptop PCs have a ridiculous failure rate because of that. And a lot of it has to do. So if you do get a gaming laptop, you want to treat it like a desktop. You want to sit it up and you want to leave it the fuck alone. But if you can't do that, you're better off getting a desktop. Now, in terms of my streaming, because I'm a Luddite and I don't know how to fucking stream my Switch games, even though I got a capture card. All of my streaming that I do on PC when I stream games. But when I'm playing consoles, I really play NES, Genesis, Super Nintendo, Nintendo Switch. Those are kind of my big ones, with a PlayStation 3 thrown in for good measure every now and then. That's kind of my go-to setup. So I'm mainly a console gamer as far as most of my gaming, but there are a select few games, Star Control 2, Morrowind. Those are games you can really only play on PC, in particular if you like to play mod, which I do. Is that an albino piranha plant?
Albino piranha plant. No, Zoo. This is one of the bony, dry bones versions of the piranha plant.
That's cool as hell.
You know, from like the castles, the ghost
Uh-huh.
ones. Yeah, I love this. Such a cool idea. Mouth opens and closes and everything.
That's cool as hell. That
You
is
don't see
cool.
them often in the games, but they do pop up.
No, so what's next for you, man? What's your next big project? Anything cooking you can talk about, or you got some stuff just still under the wraps?
Man, fuck. I still got a ton of Xbox 360 pickups that I want to talk about in my Xbox 360 FOMO pickup videos. Like those have been done so well. And it's a series that the hype is kind of dying down, I think, but there's still people on YouTube that are just like pulling games from their collection and just being like, "Oh, these games are going to be rare and expensive after the shop closes," which is bullshit. Listen, nobody's going to convince me that I need to pick up a Bomberman Act Zero for more than $5. You know what I'm saying? So
No.
that's a series I want to continue. I try to be informative with those videos. I want people to understand. I'm not here to fearmonger. I'm the one who's falling into the FOMO. I'm the one who's buying up these games, and I'm here to tell you whether I feel they're worth it or not. I'll show
Yeah.
you some gameplay. I'll tell you how much I paid for them, and I'll tell you what they're a little bit about. You know what I mean? Um, you got fucking blatant resellers. Like, there's this guy, I forget his name, Resell something.
Phoenix
Not
resale.
Phoenix Resell. No, not him. Not him.
Say, I'm more than
It's some
familiar
other
with that
dude that
term.
he like. Yeah, you
that
got
guy,
this
that
other
guy pissed me the fuck off, man.
resell.
That guy pissed me off because like I literally watched him on camera and then he tried to play the victim, where he went into a fucking pawn store and this motherfucker literally went and grabbed a game and tried to swap a game out and be like, "Oh, I found this in the dollar section," and the pawn operator literally called him on his shit right there. He's like, "No, you didn't. That game was not in the dollar section. Get the fuck out of my store." Like trying to switch fucking tags, piece of shit. Get out of here. And then he tried to pretend like
Yeah, I
he
don't
was
know
the one that
something
was the
about.
fucking victim. It's like, no, you tried to steal, asshole. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, resellers are a problem.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
like I said, you got this guy with a blatant resell in his name. Like I don't want to even like mention his name because I don't want to give him the satisfaction.
right,
He'll like hold the games backwards, so you have to like click the video to see what he's talking about. And he's
right.
talking about bullshit games that have sold millions of copies that are still available in bargain bins to this day and will be in the future. And it's like, dude, come on, bro. You're just trying to sell this shit on your own. Like, give me a
Yeah,
fucking break.
that's exactly what's happening.
That's not my goal. Yeah, it's stupid, but that's just unfortunately the nature of the beast with a lot of this physical collecting. You know what I'm saying? But
Oh, 100%. That's
yeah,
why, and honestly, that's why, like, I hope all these games get reprints. I know that the 360 era, we're pretty far removed. That's probably not going to happen. But, like, with Switch, like, I see all these rare games that I have in my collection. And people are like, man, I'm sure you're dreading this reprint culture. I'm like, actually, no, because my goal isn't to hoard a fucking dragon horde of fucking rare video games. My goal is to play those games. And so I hope all of these fucking games in my collection get reprints. I want everybody to be able to buy these games. I don't want there to be any limited style releases. I want everybody who wants to buy a copy of The Messenger should be able to get a copy of The Messenger. It's a good fucking game. It deserves to be played. Sea of Stars deserves to be played. There's so many of these indie games. Loop Hero that I'm playing right now deserves to be fucking played and deserves to not have a limited release. I hope they all get mass releases. I want people to play video games. I see that's the thing, and V convinced me of this. Like on one of my Liquored Up lives, V, who's a real life friend, and it's one of the reasons why I really harp on this anymore. And that is, that, like, she's like, I'm not a content creator, so I can only tell you, what I see from an outsider looking in. But y'all content creators, you talk about collecting games, and you talk about the business around games. Like I'm very guilty of that. You talk about you know what I don't hear a lot out of y'all? I don't hear about
playing the
playing
games.
games and enjoying video games. You talk about all the
Right.
bullshit around it. And you do too, Zoo. That's what you told me. You do too. But I don't hear a lot about playing games and liking games. And I sat there and I thought about that for a second. At first, when you get attacked like that, you kind of want to reject it. You're like, wait a second, motherfucker. And then you think about, no, no, no,
Hold
no,
on a
no,
minute.
no, wait a second, motherfucker. You do that, sir. You do that a lot. And so, once again, it's okay to be wrong, and it's okay to come to terms with the fact that, yeah, maybe you're fucking up here. For sure. Now, that's not to say that we can't talk about other aspects of video games, but I think V's right that a lot of content creators have gotten away from why we started doing this. I think there's a real critique there. And again, that's not even another content creator. That's a fucking outsider who doesn't watch video game YouTube anymore because she's sick of this shit. Like, she's tuned out. And so I don't know. I think the best critiques. I used to be a former Nintendo customer. I think some of the best critiques you can ever hear is a former customer, current non-customer. I think those are some of the best critiques you can ever take in.
Right.
So I took that to heart, and so now you'll see me talking a lot more about. Well, yeah, sure, talk about those other issues, but also I definitely want to talk about the games I'm playing and the games I'm enjoying and the games I'm looking forward to, and try to get a little bit more positivity into this bitch.
Yeah. I was always wondering if I should make like a what am I playing now, but it's always changing.
Well,
And I
that's the
don't think
problem.
anybody's interested
Yeah.
in what I'm necessarily playing. But
Yeah,
when I
I was
do
just
my
being a
pickup
Trails guy
videos,
just a few weeks ago. I was a Trails guy on the internet.
no, Trails Zombie. You're a Trail Zombie now. Welcome to the Trail Zombie
I
world.
like Trail Zombie. And by the way, that describes the whole fucking fan base as far as I'm concerned.
That's exactly
I'm
why
not
I
kidding.
said it.
You know what, man? That I'm not kidding. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, again, love me some Trails now. I played approximately one game, and I do love me some Trails. But oh my god, the amount of Trails content that is anywhere you go and these Trails guys are around. It takes over. It fucking
And
takes
it's an
over.
infection. It's an
Like,
infection.
you're
It
not
spreads.
wrong. You're not wrong about us, for sure.
I've dodged it. I've dodged it
Yeah,
as much
when
as
are
I
we going to
can, but I
infect you,
know
Cesar? When are we going to infect you? You're
it,
on Cold Knights Discord.
you'll
You see plenty of trail shit.
it'll infect me when the Trails of the Sky trilogy gets remade on Switch.
Ah, yep,
That's when
that's what.
it'll happen.
Okay, you're waiting for that first die. You're waiting for that canonically first game. Yep.
I have
Okay.
it on PSP, but I want to play it on Switch.
Fuck yeah, Switch is where it's at. Everybody wants to play on Switch.
Yeah, I have Trails of Cold Steel 1, 2 on PS3, and I have Trails of Cold Steel 3 on Switch.
You have no idea how
But
much it
that's
chaps
all I
my
have.
fucking ass that those first two games, because of a fucking rights dispute, are not available
Isn't that some shit?
and
Yeah.
may never be available on Switch because of that shit. Oh, that chaps
That's
my
the kind of
ass.
thing that like that's the kind of thing that deters me from wanting to become a trail zombie. But I'm sure
Trail
eventually
zombie.
I'll get.
I
I'm sure
love
at
it.
some point I'll get bit.
I love it. So, Brooks,
I'll
is there?
get bit or scratched, and then I'll just have to start buying them.
I finally had to take the dive because all of our friends are trail zombies. All of them. They're all trails guys. And
Hmm.
you hear enough about it, it's like, all right, fuck it. Let's see what's going on. I loved it, but I got to tell you, I immediately regretted it because I was not expecting what I got. And in terms of length, I was not fucking expecting that, man. So Brooks says there were games I was wanting to play that can't play on my PS5 or Switch. So that's why I was thinking of getting a gaming laptop. Yeah, and again, gaming laptop, Brick, perfectly acceptable to get a gaming laptop, but I'm going to encourage you just treat it like a PC. Don't move it. Don't move it around, especially when it's on. Don't carry it around. People make a lot of dumb mistakes with laptops. It's a very finicky piece of hardware, just like your desktop is. Very finicky piece of hardware. They're not as well. Your average PC, whether it's a laptop or a desktop, is not as well put together as your average console. I think I, as much as I like PC games, I don't think that's going to be a controversial take to say that your average console, in particular Nintendo, um, are much better put together pieces of hardware than PCs. Most PCs tend to be kind of Frankenstein. There's a lot of open space in those cases. There's a lot of room for shit to jiggle around. They're just not as concisely put together.
You could chuck a GameCube or an original Xbox out the window and it'll still work.
You can't do that with any PC. There's no PC that will survive that.
No.
They're just not as well put together. And it's nothing against PC. All a PC is though is it's a Frankenstein amalgamation of a bunch of fucking parts. That's all it is. Often haphazardly put together in a PC case. That's all it is, guys. And so you got to remember that does leave them open to a lot of shit you wouldn't ordinarily have to deal with consoles. And so just treat it like an egg. Treat it like eggs. And you're okay getting a gaming laptop, but you want to treat it like eggs. This is kind of the advice I give to PC people. Make sure you dust it out, you blow it out every now and then. Like, yeah. So Upper Nimbus says, I would love to get into Trails, but I'll likely skip the series because it's just too damn long, and I sadly have limited time these days. Completely respectable. Did you see my Twitter post, Nimbus?
100%.
Yeah. 100%. Did you see my post where I literally asked people and I got the answer I thought I was going to get, which is every time I literally sneeze in this fucking game, or is everybody in the goddamn country going to get new dialogue? And the answer to that is yes. So anytime time moves even remotely forward incrementally, the entire country's NPCs all get brand new dialogue, get flavoring dialogue, and sometimes quests. So every time you move that story forward, every time the story narratively moves forward in time, you have to go back and talk to every single NPC in the country. Like you got to visit the mining. You don't have to, but you feel like you're missing shit if you don't. So you got to go visit the mining village and the farming village and the fucking medical university, and then everybody in the goddamn city, and then go to the church and talk to every fucking time. Time moves forward. And it's ridiculous. And that is, it's also impressive. It's also really damn impressive. But that's what I'm kind of dealing with Trails, which is like that I can't make any progress in these goddamn games because NPCs have a million lines of dialogue. It also explains why there's
big time commitments.
It's huge. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Like fucking Morrowind and Morrowind and Ultima 7 aren't like this. And they have some of the most well-developed NPCs ever. So it's wild. So Brick says that's why Oh, go ahead, man.
No, I was gonna say with Upper Nimbus's comment, like it'd be different if I was still living with my parents and still in school. You know what I'm saying? Then I'd be able to divulge, invest as much time as I could to these games like I could back then. But nowadays, man, I barely have time to play the games I really do enjoy. And it's just like,
right.
That's why I need it on Switch, because then I can at least take it with me to work.
Right. Now I can play my Trails on the toilet.
Right, exactly. Or in bed, you know what I mean?
Yes. I do a lot of video game Switches in bed. Yes. It's my favorite way to game now on the Switch is portably in bed. It's great. So Brick says that's why I'm saying that I'm thinking of getting a gaming laptop because of Trails in the Sky. Yeah. Trails in the Sky. I do hear. Now again, this isn't confirmed, Brooke, but I do hear the scuttlebutt is that eventually there's going to be a remake of all three Trails games that'll probably come to the Switch, if I'm guessing, but we don't know for sure. And certainly the cheapest way to experience Trails in the Sky at this point, because boy, my understanding is they get pricey on other consoles. The cheapest way is going to be the Steam. Yeah, get it through Steam or Good Old Games if it's on there. For sure. And a laptop be a good way to do that. Upper Nimbus says, oh God, and I thought other JRPGs were bad enough with dialogue updates, LOL. Yeah, you ain't seen shit. You ain't seen anything yet until you see a Trails dialogue update. So I'll give you a great example. So I'm in chapter 2 in Trails from Zero, right? As a good example. And so you've got to do an investigation. Somebody threatened a theater troupe. And so you're doing an investigation. So you do your main quest investigation, and then you go report back to the chief. And it goes from morning to afternoon of that day. Well, guess what? With morning turning to afternoon, now all the NPCs updated their dialogue. So you got to go back and talk to all of them again. You proceed again. You go to the evening of the same day. So for the third time in one fucking in-game day, every NPC in the country has updated their dialogue. Time to go make your rounds across the entire country again and get all the flavoring dialogue. Yep.
You got to be a zombie to be able to do all that.
You feel like one when you're done, I'll tell you.
Yep.
All righty. Well, that being said, like we said, not trying to break any records tonight, and I'm sure we're both bone tired. Do you have anything for me before we get done for the wrap up for this this little shorty of one?
Questions?
Yeah,
No,
questions for me.
I think I'm pretty. Damn. I should have thought about this before I came on.
It's always better to put me on the spot.
Are you looking forward to the Silent Hill 2 remake?
No.
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 Okay.
Although Belmont did make some very good points in his video.
I agree with Belmont. I'm 100% looking forward to it.
Well, again,
and here's why.
Sure.
I didn't play through Silent Hill 2 originally through its entirety. I got up to a certain point and I shelved it. So I'm gonna go play this remake when it comes out, and then judge it on its own merits. Then go back to the original and see which one I prefer.
Okay, I think that's fair. I think that's
the best way to do it. Yeah.
So, and again, you have all kinds of people that will explain to you why they think this game is going to suck so bad. I'll just leave it very simple because a lot of people, like you got Jim Stephanie Sterling saying that their Bloober team can't approach mental health right. I don't give a shit about that. You got other people saying that it's that it looks like they're going to be screwing with the basis of the game. You know what? I'll allow some creative license, to update the game to more modern audiences. That's fine. My entire beef with the game is nothing to do with Bloober team. I'm sure they're a fine team. It has everything to do with the fact that this is fucking Konami. I've watched what Konami has done so far with that absolute abomination abortion of a fucking live service weird synthesis show where I forget what it's called, Silent Hill something. And it's the one where like literally you can literally pay to impact the game. And so this is how you get like a lady with a pink beard and fucking purple skin, like coming to arrest your character because some asshole troll. That's a real thing. Go to Super Eye Patch Wolf's regular Eye Patch Wolf channel and he watches this fucking series. And there's a certain moment where like you can tell Eye Patch Wolf's like, I don't know what is going on right now. Like this literally. You know what? I'm gonna see if I can find it for chat real quick. Give me a second here. You got to see this shit.
Like I've heard stories.
Regular Eye Patch Wolf
of like really bad creator wrestlers showing up in that.
That's what's happening. Yes, you just described it. That's what's happening. It's creator wrestlers. Some asshole troll literally took the time to put that ridiculous nonsense character in the game. We're gonna see if we can't find it.
Uh-huh. They put a randomizer on and then just throw in the call.
Yes.
They're just like, yeah, this is your main character or side character in this super serious game about mental health and horror.
It literally throws the entire fucking thing off. Like, it's crazy. Silent Hill. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, Silent Hill Ascension is a train wreck. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, I think this is. Let me see if I can find the moment, then I'll share it with chat. Yeah, this is insane. Fuck you, ads. Get out of my way. Okay, we're still looking for the bearded lady that just fucking shows up.
I'll have to see it afterwards. But I believe you.
Yeah, it's there. Yeah, but it's literally like the ridiculous creator wrestler. Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. I can't find it now, but yeah, like literally, it's this like serious moment where like she's getting ready to be taken, and like the lady comes in and she's like, "Mrs. Blank, you're gonna have to come with me," and it's literally like a bearded lady with purple skin and like bright gold fucking beard. Like it's like some
Like
troll.
V had a great point, an argument against the remake and how they don't really care as long as it has Pyramid Head in it. And if they really did care about Silent Hill as much as they try to make it seem like they do, they would have remade the first game first.
Yes,
Start with remaking the original
the
game.
one that
That's the one I
needs it.
feel that needs it more.
The one that needs it.
Exactly. The one that's like $150 on the PlayStation 1, complete in box. Give me, like, damn.
Yeah. What it comes down to for me is I just don't trust Konami. I just don't. And maybe
I don't blame you.
maybe Konami will regain that trust if they knock it out of the fucking park like Belmont suspects. So that's what I'll say is I'll leave it up in the air. But right now they do not have my trust, and they haven't earned my trust. So Belmont can give
Yeah.
Belmont, you Cesar, you guys can give them the trust all you want. It just goes
No,
to
it's
show
not
you.
trust. It's benefit of the
There
doubt.
you go, because they've
Not
not.
trust.
Because I will tell you guys, they have not earned a goddamn bit of your trust. They have not earned it.
No. I know Belmont doesn't trust them.
Okay,
Trust me, especially after what they've done to Castlevania. So,
fuck. Yeah, if anybody's gotten screwed, it's that fucking guy.
yeah.
So, any other questions for me?
No, I think that's it.
All
I'm
right,
good.
well, I got one last question for you, and that is, Caesar, did you have fun?
Yes, I did, Zoo. Yes, I did.
Always,
Thank
definitely
you for
gonna have to.
having me on.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely be doing this again here for sure. So we'll go ahead and end the stream here. Oh, we got one more comment from Numper Nimbus coming in. He says, "Nah, screw that. Sorry, Trails. Maybe next life I'll play you." Yeah. Now you don't want to talk. You
He's
don't want
not
to
going to
talk to the.
become a zombie in this
You don't
lifetime.
want to talk to the same NPC 50 times in one game. So
And,
we're
and
gonna
you
wrap
just
it up here.
prevented you prevented a zombie from being created.
Well, that wasn't my intent, and now Emily's gonna come after me like a fucking hatchet. But hey, it's true. That's something you need to know going in. Is there is a fuck ton of dialogue in this game. A fuck ton of dialogue. But all right, we'll just wrap up there. And love y'all. Thanks for coming out on a Monday and listening to me a fucking flock of gout geese fly by every time I'd cough and snort as I exhaled that cigar. I love y'all. You guys get the fuck out of here. And if you want to stay on it briefly, Caesar, we'll do the denouement here. Take care, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks for watching.